pension fund vanished. This was after Great North Transport Management allegedly failed to pay their contributions to pension fund administrators for more than 17 years, despite making deductions. Matlatse Paladi has more.
A bleak workers' day for the 68-year-old former Great North Transport bus driver. Patrick Kopanom never received a cent of his pension contribution. This despite working for the state entity for over 26 years. The former workers feel neglected by the government. We are very sad as former workers because this is a big day, but under this new democratic government, it seems as if they've forgotten that we have problem with our pension money. Right now, they don't even want to communicate with us anymore. Following the disappearance of the funds, Limpopo provincial government launched a forensic investigation in 2018. The draft report by the investigators revealed that GNT was deducting workers' pension but using the money for the daily operations of the company. Meanwhile, GNT authorities say they started paying the funds to affected employees.
We can confirm that out of a population of 1,176 people that we promised to pay back their pension money, we have so far located 776. In other words, by the end of March of this year, we have already paid 776. 200 are still going through, the application processes, because you would know that there is a tax implications to every money that must be paid to people. So we are sorting out their tax, numbers before we finally pay them. Then we have got a balance of 300 that we cannot trace.
Meanwhile, a civic organization representing the affected workers has disputed the assertion by GNT.
Since they pronounce the issue of payment, workers of Great North Transport, they are not yet received any payment from GNT or from the liquidators. We don't have any communication with the Premier Office.
The GNT authorities are yet to release the final report of the forensic investigations that was investigating the alleged missing pension funds. Matlatse Paladin, SABC News, Polokwane.
Right, to talk more on the issue of Great North Transport workers, we are now joined by Herry Masindi. He is the Managing Director at Make It Happen Foundation. Well, a very good evening to you, and thank you very much for joining us here on SABC News.
Good evening to you, and good evening to the listeners, and happy Workers' Day.
Yeah, same to you. You complained on behalf of GNT employees already in 2016, and Limpopo Treasury appointed a probe into this matter. Firstly, what was your red flag when it comes to this particular issue, and what has been happening since a probe was launched?
Thank you very much. The red flag is after I've been approached by one of the employees to say that there is no growth on their money for pension fund, as by law, the administrator is required to give all employee benefit statement after the financial year. Instead of their contribution, which the employer is contributing and the employee is contributing, instead of that money increase, they found themselves that the money was decreasing. I started investigating this case from 2013, and after I have all the evidence, I went to the Limpopo government to approach them with a big file which have evidence, which the Limpopo government, starting from the Premier, the Treasury, and the MEC for Economic Development, agree because of the evidence I had to say, let we appoint a forensic investigator, where PwC was appointed. And after being appointed, they found themselves that if there was not internal audit, there were external audit. Therefore, there was a conflict of interest, which they then withdraw. And after withdrawing, the Limpopo government and the National Treasurer then had another tender advertise another tender where BDO was advertised, was appointed. And after being appointed, they then finalized their work on the 20 May 2021, where the report was given to the Limpopo government under the leadership of Siaparo Squati, where that report, up until now, when I'm talking to you, I don't have that report. They deny me that report to have access.
Mr. Masindi, hold on. All right, let's talk about this this money that we're talking about. I mean, we're talking about 300 million rand that we understand disappeared. You talk about the evidence that you had. What sort of evidence? What's the nature of this evidence that you have? I mean, I think the best question to ask then is what exactly happened? I mean, this is a government-owned bus company, and we understand that, you know, money was used as cash flow for this cash-strapped bus company. What's the nature of your evidence that shows, you know, ill intent or corruption, whatever that you may have in your evidence?
This is the file. This file is contain evidence of a lot of irregularities. One, this is the document from one of the administrator, which demonstrated that this is the letter which is coming from one of the administrator, which demonstrated that according to our records, the contribution in respect of the above mentioned fund is in areas for a period of 5 months, which amounted to 1,176,976.65 cents. This is the document from the administrator sending it to the company, which demonstrates that the company is deducting money from the workers and not sending it to the administrator, which is the contribution of the employer and the contribution of the employee. And it happened for some years. That's why at the end, this document which I have here, there is a letter from the CEO of Great North Transport, who is instructing the Board of Trustees to say, go for voluntary liquidation after they become aware that I'm investigating this matter and I have evidence, where they went for a voluntary liquidation. And when they went to voluntary liquidation, the FSB, I gave them a file, 2 files, through Dube, who was at FSB, because they are the one who have to protect the money for the workers. And they indicated to me, I have all the correspondence, that they are going to disband the board, and they are aware of the missing of money, but they didn't do anything. Limpopo government, after receiving all the information, they didn't do anything. And I will say the following. One, the current premier of Limpopo, who is Stan Matabata, was a group CEO of Limdep, who is the shareholders. The MEC for Treasury now, who is Siaparo Squati, was the MEC for Economic Development. The MEC of Agriculture now, who then, during the leadership of Stan Matabata, was the MEC of Economic Development, who was the member of the board of Great North Transport, which means that they were aware of what is happening. But while they were aware of what is happening, that's why I assume that's why they are unable to provide us with the report. And after we agree to say, after the report, Limpopo government make an undertaking to say, one, we are going to pay the interest of the money which was taken, because we have evidence and proof that money was deducted from the government, from the employee salary, and they use that money to pay salary and pay other things. We will then get the actuary who will be able to determine if this money was being invested, how much it will be during the time when somebody retire or get retrenched or dismissed.
Yeah, you know, we're talking about a breach of the Pension Fund Act. as you rightly say, the fact that monthly deductions were made from salaries of the employees and so forth. So, what happens now? Because, we can't hide behind these processes that I understand were then followed in terms of winding up or dissolution of the funds. And I mean, do we even know if proper channels and processes were actually taken in order to make those processes happen in terms of winding up?
After that process take place, we objected because some of the employee, which is a huge number of employee, I meet with those employees on a monthly basis. Others, they are not appearing on the list of the liquidators, whereas they have proof of pay slip and benefit statement which demonstrate that they work for Great North Transport.
Yeah.
We are talking about members of Great North Transport who are former employee and all current employee today while I'm talking to you. That's why we also raised this matter to the office of the Premier. We march, submit the memorandum, they didn't respond. We went to the Limpopo legislature, to the Speaker, we petitioned the Speaker, they didn't respond. We then went to the President of the country. We met at the office of Gungubeli as a Minister of Monitoring and Evaluation. We have document here where he gave us 3 months to finalize the matter. Up until today, when we tried to get hold of Gungubeli, he was nowhere to be found. We went on the 15th of December to submit a memorandum at Maslambando at Union Building. Up until today, up until now, he has been removed to other portfolio. He was running away instead of meeting with us. And we went to the public protector for the same matter because now the only option we have is to go to the National Assembly because the FSCA failed us. Treasury also failed us because when we were talking about Gungubelu, when he was still a deputy minister of Tito Mboweni, we sent him a letter. We had emails from the Treasury. Nothing happened up until today, which means that we start asking ourselves that while we are celebrating the Workers' Day today, last week we were celebrating the Freedom Day, and we ask ourselves in regard to those institutions which was established to make sure that they protect the interest of those ordinary members. What is their role?
All right.
What is the role
Mr.
of the
Masindi, we're out
Department
of
of Labor?
time.
What is the role of Treasury?
Yeah.
What is the role of the FSCA? What is the role of other institutions to make sure that those employees who work for more than 40 years, they go out without even a single cent?
Yeah, we understand
Working for
the
40
plight.
years,
Thanks very much
go out with
for your
only
time,
20,000 rand or
Unfortunately,
14,000.
we're out of time at this time. That's Herry Masindi, the Managing Director of Make It Happen Foundation, who, of course, raised the red flags with regards to more than 800 current and former employees of Limpopo government-owned bus company Great North Transport, who some are yet, as he said, to receive their pension funds. And we understand, of course, that workers were indeed left high and dry after 300 million rand of their pension fund.